Welcome back, everybody. This past weekend, took a break from working on all the stuff around the garage and took a trip out to New Jersey with a rather large group of friends and went to Supercharged Entertainment in Edison, New Jersey to do some go-karting and also some axe throwing, and had a really good time and recorded some of the races. So that's what this video is, just go-kart racing. I've done one of these videos before, which gets a little long just because the races are not that short, but I like to be able to show you guys, the complexes that we go to and race go-karts at. That way you guys can make informed decisions on whether or not they're worth it to you to go to or if they're not. So with that being said, let's get into some of the action and look at some of the racing. So this is pulling into the complex. So the building for this place is absolutely massive. They have an arcade, they have virtual reality games, axe throwing, like I said, go-karting, as well as a couple restaurants and bars inside of it as well. Just the karting area alone is 80,000 square feet. It's got 2 tracks, they're multi-level, and they actually go about 3 stories up and down, which is really impressive. And this is the first time I've ever been to a karting place like this, so it was a really cool experience to have. This is our first race that we're going out for, and it's a little different than any other karting experience I've had before. For one, they make you wear a neck brace, which is a little odd, but at the same time, the karts don't have over-the-shoulder harnesses. They have like a typical 3-point seat belt, which is a little weird. The seats are also a little bit different, that they're more like a true karting seat, that they don't go up to your shoulders and things like the other karts that I've raced in do. But one really odd thing is they pipe in fake engine noises, and you'll probably end up hearing them as I drive, but it's just really odd and off-putting. Like when they turn the karts on for you and you hear it rev like it's a V8, it's just weird. But you get used to it pretty quickly. The other fun thing that these karts have is they have a boost button. So if you're able to drive cleanly, and you'll probably see it light up on my steering wheel as I'm going through this, but if you're able to drive cleanly for about 2 laps, it activates that button and you get a speed boost for 2 seconds when you click it, which is really helpful because the other thing that this facility does is they put 20 karts out on the track at one time, which is a ton. It was very hard to turn a clean lap. Granted, there was 11 of us in this group, which was, half of a race, so at least we all knew each other for the most part when we were going out. So that helped a little bit, but you're still out there with people that necessarily aren't racers of any kind in general, which makes it a little interesting, and it also makes it very difficult to turn a clean lap. Now, we went on a Saturday night, or Saturday afternoon, really, so, if you go other times, it might not be as busy, and that might be better to have some good competitive races. We were turning around 51-second lap times on this track at the speed that they gave us. They did tell us that there was a faster speed if you were in one of their leagues, but obviously they don't let just anybody run that coming off the street. So it was just jammed up a little bit, and you'll see it through this entire race and the 2 later ones as well, that it just gets cramped. There's not enough room for everybody to be out there. The other thing about this facility is it is super busy. There was a 2-hour wait for us to go out and go go-karting. We showed up at 2 p.m. So we didn't get to kart until 4, which is also part of the reason that we did axe throwing. So it kind of worked out how, we were able to do axe throwing for the length of time that we would have had to wait, and then we were pretty much able to immediately go out and get go-karting. But that's, some of the intricacies of this facility. Like I said, this is probably the most populated place I've ever been go-karting. There was just people everywhere. So, but for the purposes of this video, this is track 1 at this facility. We raced all 3 heats on the same track. We did not switch back and forth. So one day I'd like to go back and race track 2, but it was kind of nice because there was one person in our group that had been here before, but he had only ever raced track 2. So we kind of were lucky in the fact of all of us had no experience being in this facility, and it was fun just to like learn beside all your buddies who are also trying to learn the track just like you were. So I'm gonna be quiet for probably the rest of this race, and you know, we'll talk through some of what happens in the next races. So as you've probably noticed in this video, me, Jarrett, who is in like the teal t-shirt, and Brian, who's the white helmet with the navy blue shirt, and Shane, who I believe is in gray, we've pretty much been glued together for this entire race. But this is probably one of the funnier moments. Jarrett absolutely messes up this corner. He thinks he's in a completely different part of the track. He told us that afterwards. And Brian sails in and just absolutely clobbers him as Jarrett's sitting sideways on the track. It was pretty funny, but this race is rough. Obviously it's our first time, so we're learning a lot as we go, and you know, it's basically bumper cars. So kind of ugly, but hey, it is what it is. Now we're on to race 2 here. You know, did decently well in the first race. Finished 4th on lap time. Did decent with the average as well. So pretty happy for first time out. So second time should be better, you would think. But unfortunately, we had run into some issues, as you will see see here shortly. So what ends up happening in this race is we end up getting red flagged. So somebody crashes on the helix portion going up, which is where you can see the track marshal running out to, and they end up stopping all of us, which really isn't that bad. The unfortunate part of it though is they don't communicate well with when they're gonna start the race again. So as you'll see here, race starts and I am completely unaware that we're even going again and get absolutely demolished and just ran over. So could have had some better communication. They didn't really go over that portion in the safety briefing, so you know, something to note for the future is just keep your foot on the gas, and when they start the karts is, you know, you'll go and you won't end up getting rear-ended like I did. But the only other unfortunate part about the whole red flag situation is it just stuck us in traffic for the rest of this race, and as you'll see by the results, it changed dramatically.
is our final race. So nowhere to go but up from that last result. The 53-second lap times with almost 90-second averages are not really what we're about. So we can improve a ton on these now. And Shane, Jared, Corey, and myself all kind of cheated a little bit. We went to the back of the line, which when you're queuing to go into the race turns into the front of the line when you end up getting into the carts. So we did this on purpose to try and get away from some of our friends and run in cleaner traffic. So the only people that we had in front of us were, some random family, no one that we actually knew. And they had raced the previous race with us, so we knew that we could pass them. So we made the gentleman's agreement to not try and bottle up and race each other. Wait until we all got past all of these people, and then race from there. So that allowed us to turn more cleaner laps than we did on any previous race. Even with that, though, we still turned our fastest laps on the second to last lap of this race. So at the end of the day, it really didn't matter all that much, but Jared and I were able to get into the 49-second lap times, which is decently quick for the speed that these were set on. You can see in the results, there's more results that get emailed out than what I'm actually showing as results, but you can see in those what the fastest lap times were for the week, as well as like the fastest lap times for the day. So we weren't the quickest. We didn't make that top 10 list, but we were still pretty close, and I'm happy with that for only doing 3 races. that wraps up racing at Supercharged Entertainment in Edison, New Jersey. We all had a good time. We did discuss it after the fact, though. The group of us that have gone to Slick Willie's, which is the last video that I did of us racing, we all agree that Slick Willie's is more fun and better set up for competitive racing. Just purely on the fact of this place puts way too many carts out on the track at once, and there's way too many people there. It just takes forever to go racing. Maybe on a weeknight it would be better, because you would think that it would be less busy on a weeknight, but we all definitely agree that Slick Willie's is more fun. But the experience of getting to race on one of these multi-level tracks is still worth it, in my opinion. It's not something that I want to do all the time. It's also more expensive than most other places. So based on that, it's fun to do probably once a year, in my opinion. I would like to go and race here. I still want to go back and run track 2 and see how track 2 is versus track 1, but that's where we're at. So hopefully we'll be back to making car content here shortly. I got some stuff going on weekends that makes it hard for me to do all this stuff, but gonna try and figure all that out and work through it. But if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And if you like what you saw or you want to see more of it, leave a comment down below. See y'all next time.
Those not the Ku Klux Klan wheels?